Phillis Wheatley earned both her freedom from slavery and a wide literary following with her poetry. This young girl from Gambia was sold on the auction block in Boston before the age of 9. She was called Phyllis, the name of the ship on which she came from Africa, by her owner John Wheatley, who bought her to serve as his wife's maid. Within 4 years, Phillis Wheatley could read and write, and at 14 she published her first verse. She was soon studying Latin, encouraged in her literary pursuits and education by her mistress. Through the help of an admiring patron, she secured a publisher in London for a book of verse, poems on various subjects. She also spent some time in England in 1773, shortly before her volume appeared. Wheatley's work was praised by leading figures of the day, including Benjamin Franklin, Voltaire, and George Washington. Although Wheatley was emancipated in 1773, she continued to live with her former owners until March 1778, when John Wheatley died. A month later, she wed John Peters, a free black Boston tradesman. Marriage curtailed her publishing, if not her writing, for the next 5 years. The couple was living in poverty when 3 elegies and the poem Liberty and Peace appeared in 1784. Wheatley announced another volume of poems, but she died in December 1784, before it was completed. Wheatley was a pioneering poet, the first African American and only the second woman in the American colonies to publish a book. In her own lifetime, her remarkable gifts gained her fame, and she was the first black poet in the world to attain an international literary reputation. Wheatley turned her poetic imagination to patriotism as early as 1770, when she wrote a verse celebrating the heroism of Crispus Attuck's death at the Boston Massacre. In a letter printed in a newspaper in 1774, she declared that within every human, love of freedom is impatient of oppression and pants for deliverance. With the Declaration of Independence in 1776 and the war against Britain, America became a new nation, and Wheatley was caught up in the spirit of the times. The last poem she ever published, Liberty and Peace, reflected her dedication to the principles that fueled the American Revolution and the anti-slavery movement which blossomed after her death in 1784. Liberty and peace. Lo, freedom comes, the prescient muse foretold. All eyes the accomplished prophecy behold. Her port described, she moves divinely fair, olive and laurel bind her golden hair. She, the bright progeny of heaven, descends, and every grace her sovereign step attends. For now kind heaven, indulgent to our prayer, in smiling peace resolves the din of war. Fixed in Columbia her illustrious line, and bids in thee her future counsels shine. To every realm her portals opened wide, receives from each the full commercial tide. Each art and science now with rising charms, the expanding heart with emulation warms. In Great Britannia sees with dread surprise, and from the dazzling splendor turns her eyes. Britain, whose navies swept the Atlantic o'er, and thunder sent to every distant shore. E'en thou, in manners cruel as thou art, the sword resigned resumed the friendly part. For Gallia's power espoused Columbia's cause, and new-born Rome shall give Britannia law. Nor unremembered in the grateful strain shall princely Louis's friendly deeds remain. The generous prince the impending vengeance eyes, sees the fierce wrong, and to the rescue flies. Perish that thirst of boundless power that drew on Albion's head the curse to tyrants due. But thou appease, submit to heaven's decree that bids this realm of freedom rival thee.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.